A family coming together to mourn but are determined to seek justice after a woman is shot and killed.
Nobody's just going to sit here and just let this be the cause of her life.
Plus, on International Women's Day, Portland women making their voices heard.
It's a great time to show our resistance and be community together.
Plus, a different round of protests as federal cuts threaten some national parks.
If you no longer lease the building, that is the park.
And thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Family and friends came together this evening to remember a Portland woman who was shot and killed earlier this week. Police have arrested and charged her boyfriend in connection to her death. Loved ones say the 31-year-old was a good person with a heart of gold.
She was just a vibrant and happy person. Like, she was very caring.
Just a few days ago, Raisa McMickle never thought she would be spending Saturday night mourning her sister, Shade Hutchinson. McMickle says the two were inseparable growing up, competing on the debate team in high school and playing sports together.
She was on the basketball team. We did bowling together. We did golfing together. Literally every sport, it was me and her together.
But Hutchinson's life was tragically cut short by gun violence earlier this week. On March 4th, Hutchinson was in an RV near North MLK Boulevard and Gertz Road with her boyfriend, 42-year-old Aaron Garza, when Garza allegedly shot and killed her. According to a probable cause statement, it appeared Garza may have been under the influence of drugs and had described hearing voices that told him to kill Hutchinson. Garza was arrested by Portland police and charged with second-degree murder.
She was taken from us. You know, it wasn't her time. And I feel like that's what hurts the most, is because she has so much to offer the world, and that opportunity was taken from her.
Now, all that family and friends in attendance Saturday night have are the memories of Shade and a resolve to seek justice for her death. McMickle says her sister's passing feels like a part of her has been taken away.
A big piece of me is gone, and just knowing that I can't pick up the phone and call her.
A former Milwaukee police officer has been arrested on child sex abuse charges. 57-year-old John Foreman, a sergeant with the Milwaukee Police Department, was put on leave in June of last year and resigned last month. This past week, a grand jury indicted him on 7 counts of encouraging child sex abuse and 2 other counts of attempting encouraging child sex abuse. Yesterday evening, Foreman turned himself into the Clackamas County Jail. He is being held without bail. And continuing coverage near the Oregon coast, where search teams continue looking for a missing 2-year-old. Dane Paulson was last seen last Saturday night playing in front of his home in Siletz, which is near the Siletz River. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office shared photos today showing boats searching along the river using sonar and underwater drones. There's no suspicion of criminal activity at this time, but if you do have any information to report, call the tip line 541-265-0669.
Women's rights are human rights, and women and children's rights across the globe are being exponentially affected.
This weekend, protests continue in Portland with large crowds showing up to the waterfront on International Women's Day. The core message of today's rally was the opposition to the Trump administration and many of the president's stances and policies. They tell our Alma McCarty this is the time to join together and speak out to defend the rights of women.
We want equal pay. We want equal rights. It shouldn't be that hard.
A call to action in downtown Portland.
It's a gathering for all, old, young, men, women, and everybody in between.
On International Women's Day, the message to unite and to resist, spelled out loud and clear along the waterfront.
People need to get out and protest. Be loud. Let everybody know how you feel.
You're supposed to come here to America for freedom of rights for all, and that you should feel welcome here. It's not the America that I came to.
We can't stand what's going on in our country right now because of Trump and Musk.
It's a great time to be show our resistance and be community together.
Sue Jacoby and Susan Baumgartner began attending marches and protests decades ago, objecting to the Vietnam War and to the Iraq War.
And then we were here for the Women's March, where we were squished in so tight.
100,000
here
people.
with our granddaughter.
That historic worldwide protest took place more than 7 years ago, although many of the same themes remain. Demonstrators demanding equal rights, showing support for countries like Ukraine, and fighting back against cuts to federal funds and the federal workforce.
It's not fair that they want to take away resources from the people who need it the most, because then once you take away these resources, what's going to happen to these people? You're going to put them on the streets, but then when you put them on the streets, you're going to do everything they can to clear them out.
The energy of this movement won't be contained to just this day, with many telling me they'll continue mobilizing and speaking out.
History shows that peaceful protests, when they get large enough, and we're getting there, it's building, so please, everybody get out and protest.
In Northwest Portland, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Turning now to weather, a calm evening outside in Portland. It was a dry Saturday out there and a very nice way to start the weekend. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us tonight. Joe, how's our Sunday looking?
Sunday is going to be looking pretty nice. We are going to be looking at dry conditions pretty much most of the daylight hours. I'm expecting to see some changes move in by late afternoon and the early part of the evening, although some models are kind of pushing that back to the evening hours between about 6 and 8 o'clock. But again, the big weather headlines is going to be daylight saving time begins early tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. Waking up, though, to partly sunny skies. Rain showers arrive late tomorrow. And looking into tomorrow, we're going to be starting off with some high clouds, a mix of clouds and sunshine a good portion of the day. In the morning hours, we'll be at 46 degrees. By midday, very mild, 55 degrees, on our way to a high of 60 degrees despite those increasing clouds. Again, sunrise tomorrow morning, 7:33. And look at that sunset, John, 7:09. And it's kind of nice. We do lose an hour of sleep, but we get a little more daylight hours, which is always good, especially this time of year. On the satellite radar, we still have some clouds out there right now, but dry conditions. And as we go into tomorrow morning, it is going to be dry along the coast and into the valley, but late afternoon along the coast, it is going to be wet. Also going to be tracking some winds heading into tomorrow. I'll talk more about that and your detailed forecast in just a few minutes from now.
All right, Joe, see you soon. A group of people gathered at the entrance of Mount Rainier National Park today protesting federal budget cuts. Demonstrators are calling on the government to support and fully fund national parks and public lands. With recent layoffs, the group has concerns over the safety of visitors with fewer rangers available. And in Seattle, the future of the city's only national park is facing even more uncertainty. It was revealed last week the Klondike Gold Rush in Pioneer Square could have its lease terminated as part of the federal cuts. That could mean the end of the park as we know it.
The park is the building, so if you no longer lease the building, that is the park. So this, in this case, eliminates the entire park, much less the park experience. It just doesn't make sense.
At the same time, the National Park Conservation Association says new numbers released today prove interest in the parks have never been higher. And some good traffic news tonight here in Oregon. The Sherwood Police Department announced Southwest Pacific Highway is completely back open. It was set to reopen early Monday, but work was finished ahead of schedule.